Happy Monday, y'all. We made it. We made it. Listen, happy to be here. Hope you are too. If you're in the bushes or in my glorified chat, please stay tuned. I'm going to give the algorithm a little bit, a minute or two to do something. Bring me 3 people, okay? I'm kidding. Listen, you know what to do. Chill out. If you're in the replay, skip ahead about 7 minutes. And we're gonna see what's going on in the courtroom today. Midi. The Mia is still on the stand, and we're gonna get into the things. Thank you for waiting. You know we gotta have the kids chime in, child. Love the sound of the happy ones. All right, now we are going to get there and give me 2 minutes, please. Trying to, as I say, handle this 3-man show where it's just one woman. But it's all good. I got this. And we're going to put on something different. My favorite artist, PJ Corleone with a K. I think we'll do I'm Good.
So good, so great. Put you at my table, fix your plate. Your eyes, I hate to stay away. Been on me, should've stayed away. Feel good, so great. Can't you tell by that smile on my face? Can't you tell by the way I pour that ace? Can't you tell by the way I beat that pace? case. I feel great, not just okay. By getting the state and relocate, can ride my way. Don't think on me, don't trip the weed and drink on me. Yeah, I'm on top of that in 10 toes. Probably off of Western eating bento. You niggas probably wouldn't get the shit I've been through. Don't never let nobody take away within you. They said this shit is life or death, and I'm living proof. I ain't stopping till the jet. Got a swimming pool and a living room. Good, I feel great. If you at my table, fix a plate. If your ass a hater, stay away. Sleeping on me, should've stayed awake. Huh. I feel good, I feel great. Can't you tell by that smile on my face? Can't you tell by the way I pour that ace? Can't you tell by the way I beat that case? Lord, I feel amazing. Remember the days that I slept in the basement? They thought I can't make it, so I did it and rubbed it in their faces. Ooh, yeah, I bet that you thought I was changing the cadence. You can't misplace me. Now you can't do shit without seeing our faces. I go to the bank. I love how it look when they look at my statement. Bitch, I'm from the town. You can talk from my crown all the way to my laces. And the way that I lay. I'm feeling like Freddie, I'm feeling like Jason. I fucking don't chase him. She call me daddy, they ain't no relation. I'm feeling good, I'm feeling great. They don't like the way I'm feeling. I can feel they feel away. It's okay. Can't nobody kill the way I feel today. On the real and they just mad they don't feel how I feel today. I feel good, I feel great. If you at my table, fix the plate. If your ass a hater, stay away. Sleeping on me, should've stayed awake. Huh. I feel good, I feel great. Can't you tell by that smile on my face? Can't you tell by the way I pour that ace? Can't you tell by the way I beat that case?
Speaking of beating the case, people are saying Diddy finna beat this case. Can you believe that? I want to know what y'all think about the fact that people think that Diddy gonna beat it. He gonna walk. I guess anything is possible in this world. But yeah, sound the alarms, child. But listen, peace, world, peace. Welcome back to Goddess Dawn Speaks, aka the $1 Trillion Goddess, aka the Queen of Info, honey. We are here back on this Monday, blessed and beautiful. That's right. These breaths are sacred and we are blessed to have them. So let's celebrate that and just being grateful. I'm grateful, especially that we ain't Diddy, honey. I would hate to be him. But anyway, we're going to get into the court transcript. Mia is on the stand. Okay. In the meantime, though, there's things going on the docket. Just real quick. Oh, before I get into business. Hello, Wayne. I see you. Happy Monday. Yeah. Now, this is how you get the vibe up. I feel good. I feel great. That's how you do it. All right, so we're going to get into the things, but like I said, things are going on the docket. The judge, from what I could see, granted defense more time with Diddy on the phone. Now, I hadn't finished reading all the dockets. The other motion that was resolved was regarding Dr. Hughes, the prosecution's expert psychiatrist, forensic psychiatrist, who the defense wanted to strike. I'm not sure if it's all or some testimony, but it was resolved as well. I have to see who got what. And then there's a third one. So anyway, let's waste no more time. Yeah. Gotta say what's going on to Nia X, child. Out here, mute R. Kelly. We got to get back on the mute R. Kelly train is coming through, child. The pardon is being discussed from what I understand. What? Hello. What's going on, Michelle? You changed your name, huh? And your picture. Okay, so basically you're just a different person. Well, how do I know it's you? Somebody could be trying to clone you. Text me. Yes. All right. So PJ Corleone First one in line. Thank you for the green checks. Speaking of green checks. All right, so let's see. Let's get into the today's testimony, y'all. Let me take this picture down, or I'll just leave it up. It's fine. So as always, I want to thank Matthew Russell Lee, Inner City Press, for doing what he does, which is live tweet and give us the people, especially me out here on the West, the play-by-play. Okay, and I know I'm not the only one, but you know what I'm saying? There's your like, sir. All right. So he says before the jury comes in, the judge says, Mr. Steele, how much longer do you have on cross? Remember, Mia's up there, pseudonym Mia, but ex-employee, S-aid, multiple times, she says. A lot of abuse there as well, and as well witness of abuse of Cassie. All right. So Combs' attorney, Brian Steele, he says, at least until lunch, maybe after. The judge says, we're not going to have 15 more Instagram posts. Steele said, I can't promise that. So the judge says, defense, on the elevator hallway video, you're objecting to showing the versions we discussed? He says, yes, it shows Mr. Combs running 30% faster than really happened. It's prejudicial. We let AUSA Smizer know how we will cross the expert. The judge says, let's have Mr. Garcia. Garcia enters the courtroom. Prosecutors ask, did you receive a subpoena to testify at this trial? He says, yes. Do you intend to invoke your Fifth Amendment rights? He says, yes. Have you seen the proposed immunity order? He says, yes. Your Honor, on that basis, we propose you sign the immunity order. Done. Right then, right there. First thing on the agenda. Oh my, oh my. Let's get into it. The judge says, bring in the witness, Mia. Mia takes the stand. The judge says, all rise. The jury enters and says, Mr. Steele. He then says, Mr. Steele, you may proceed. Steele says, show DX 1750. Schmeiser says, Your Honor, we renew our objection. The judge says, Mr. Steele, are we just going to show this video? You haven't laid any type of foundation. Take the video down. What is getting hot in here? Steele says, did you work as an assistant to someone? Mia says, maybe 2008 or 2007. I'm not sure. Steele says, you had a resume saying you had the ability to multitask and had thick skin. Mia says, I'm not sure I wrote that. Steele says that you were able to deal with uncomfortable situations 24/7. Prosecutor interrupts, objection, reading for document, not in evidence. And these are exclamation points. Woo-wee. The judge overrules. Steele asks, did you use this as your CV? Mia says, looks like it. Steele says 1753-R for admission. And the judge admits it. Steele asks, you went to James Madison University. It's a well-known institution. Mia said, sure. Steele asked that you were a designer. Then you were a design assistant. She says, yes. In 2008-09, you say you provided round-the-clock support, all personal and professional needs, keeping passports. They were all collected? She says, I don't exactly remember. I didn't travel. But you traveled with Mr. Combs' companies. Oh, yes. So when you said you had your passport, they had everyone's passport, true? She said, yes. You're a strong person. I'm good at teaching people, not necessarily enforcing things. You're a leader. I don't know about that. You speak up for yourself? No. But you empower other people, true? Yes. Let's look at your text messages in 1730 ETSEQ. I don't know how to pronounce it. I sound like me. Show the jury 1733. You left Mr. Combs' employ by March 2017? Yes. What did you write to Mr. Combs for Christmas 2018? Please read it. Merry Christmas, I love you, with an exclamation point. And the New Year's, I had just seen him at Kim's funeral. You reached out to him? Absolutely. Let me turn this down. All right. Absolutely. Still asked this 2019 message. She said, I wrote, I had a nightmare. I was being chased by R. Kelly and you saved me. What? Oh, maybe is Nia, is that why you said that? Oh, wow. Who knew? Hey, Love Queen. Happy Monday. Hey, Shamina. All right, girl. Peace. All right, let's get back into it. So she says, so this is R. Kelly coming into the conversation. She had a nightmare at that. Okay, so then still ask the person you say, great, you saved you. There's an objection. The judge says needs to rephrase. Still ask, here, what did you write? She says, sending you all the love in the world. You are not in his grip anymore. She says it's psychological, and then she's cut off. Still asks, why do you keep referring to psychology? Why do you do this? Why did you do this? Kim Porter's mad tragic death was 5 months before. Shy, were you reaching out to Mr. Combs? What? Were you reaching out to Mr. Combs? She said, 5 months is not a lot. What didn't you understand that Mr. Combs was brutal? That Mr. Combs was brutal to you? How did you write this? There's an objection, argumentative. Judge says, Mr. Still, let's have a very brief sidebar. So there is a sidebar. It's pretty heated in there on a Monday morning. It's very hot in that kitchen. I'm wondering, I got to go listen to some of the people on the ground to see what the reaction in the actual courtroom, the jurors were when all this is going on. There's been a lot of people talking about these jurors, and I'm wondering, why is this happening? Why are jurors? We'll get into that. All right. So they're back from the sidebar. Still asks, now, May 14, 2020, and you texted to Mr. Combs what? My heart is broken about Dre. In my spirituality, I know that when people are done with the physical world, it's that they have completed their mission. I love you. And still asks, what's this about? What's this about? She says he auditioned for the James Brown part that Chad Boseman got. I told Puff I'd email him videos of his audition. Still asks, you carried about a video camera? He required me to do it. Pre-iPhone, I was required. Still asks, do you have any footage of Mr. Combs berating you? Objection by the prosecution. The judge overrules. Mia says, I would not have been allowed to record that. Still asks, do you have anything about Mr. Combs berating you? Mia says it would have violated confidentiality. Still says, you have no text messages. And then Mia kind of cuts him off. She says they should me on direct. I guess she's saying they should have asked me on direct. Or that's what it looks like. Still asks, showing what? Mia says, Puff saying, F it, let's go to war. Nothing else? Only reaching out to other people in the office, things others had seen. What did you write here? I wrote we had so many funny memories. Oh my, OMGGG, all caps. Anything in your phone about being brutalized by Mr. Combs? She said, I don't think so. How would we find out? There's an objection. It's sustained. Mia, didn't you have any time away from Mr. Combs to write today? He SA'd me. I did not have time and would not have written that. August 29, 2020, he wrote to you, glad you're well, love. Please send me the footage for the doc. Mr. Combs let you go from your employment? She said, I don't know why. It was confusing. I was called back. Still says here, he says he'll only remember the good times. And she says, yes. It's 2020. The Me Too movement is strong for 2 years. You could say, I remember the bad times, right? I would never have said that because it's not true. There's an objection. It's overruled. You wrote what? Love you too, exclamation point. Wait, did I read this already? No, she says, I wrote so many crazy things like Mick Jagger trying to take me home and that Baccarat game, my pink bedazzled iPhone. There are trillions of stories. Of course, I'll send to you. I was bamboozled by Heather. Remember the scrapbook I made you? I've got you. I've got you. Why didn't you write you bamboozle me? She said, because I was brainwashed. By whom? Puff. How did he bamboozle you with a part of his body in you without your consent? There's an objection. It's sustained. What does brainwashing mean? He asked her. She says, the highs were really high and the lows were really low. I was punished whenever Puff was violent, making me believe I had done something wrong. He was praised by the public. You were aware of the Me Too movement, no outcry of you. Why? He said, excuse me, he said he was going to tell Cassie what happened. I internalized blame and shame. Who threatened to tell Miss Ventura about Mr. Combs supposedly SAing you? She said, Puff. Why didn't you respond? Great, let's tell everyone what you did to me. There's an objection. It's sustained. The judge says, let's move on. You said you have a moral obligation to speak up. She said, now I do. Why not in 2017? I was brainwashed. When did you say me too? When I first saw him being held responsible. Now I have therapy. Mr. Steele kind of cuts her off and says, Mr. Combs wrote, I got to find that. You got a copy. What does it refer to? She says, I think he means the James Brown video. And he says, scrapbook. She says, I wrote, I think I have PDFs. I think I gave it to you for your B-Day in your house on Mapleton. I customized that purple leather suit so you could walk not giving a F. If y'all can't find it, I will, but I didn't. He said, you have PDF? She said, I thought so. What did you write here? My grandmom went to the hospice, so I have to fly out. I have to miss your event here in my hometown. C'est la vie, effing crush it and make history. Heart emoji. Still says deepest sympathy for your grandmother, and she says thanks. Still asks, what was this about? She says there have been some terrible event with the police. Pharrell organized an event to change the narrative of Beach Week, which I think is a college thing. He says, you wanted to see Mr. Combs. She said, I did not. I only said so. Pharrell's name been dropped a lot, y'all. I have to add him to my list here. So Mia says, my hometown of Virginia Beach doesn't usually get this type of attention. Still asks, you're telling the jury you were scared of Mr. Combs, true? She says, true. I was scared of him when he was scary. He says, listen to 1750. Tell me if you recognize it. Move to admit 1750 and 1750R. Judge says, Ms. Miser, she says, we object. The proper basis for admission has not been established. Then the judge asks for a sidebar. Ooh, they be trying it. All right, let me see. If anybody has anything to say, y'all just sitting tight over here. All right, let's get back to it. So the judge then, they get back. The judge says it may be admitted. And then the judge calls for a break. Okay. They're back from break. The prosecution says until now, they have been objecting to exhibits and turning over private correspondence of his witness. We have now sat through hours of humiliating cross. Mr. Steele has insulted this witness, saying things like, God forbid, that's in quotes, after things she said. One by one, Your Honor, let the exhibit in. But now, cumulatively, we have reached harassment. Given the tone, we do not think continuing this is appropriate. She has carried herself with grace. This is adding to trauma. Eyes are on this trial. Other victims in other trials will become aware of this. The judge says, I have not seen yelling. My understanding is that God forbid, in quotes, is an apology, not an attempt to intimidate, but the argumentative questions. Is Mr. Steele here? You're repeating yourself. Oh, no. Not the judge barking back at the prosecution this time. Usually they pretty cool. All right. Comey's mad. Judge says, if I feel you are asking questions just to ask them, I'm going to tell you to move on. Understood? Steele says, I understand. Judge says, I don't see improper treatment here, Miss Comey, but I will continue to watch. Steele says, I saw photographs 1799, 1 to 25. The judge asked to see them. Prosecution says, we don't have stamped versions of these. The judge asks, do you have the photos? They say yes, but we won't know which one you are referring to. Judge says, Mr. Steele, why don't they have stamped copies of these? He said, I only saw this morning. The judge says, just show them to me one by one. Next. Mr. Steele, what is the relevance? Steele says, impeachment. She says she had no time for herself to tell others. These images show Mia with friends and family over these years. The judge says, why would baby showers have relevance? Why not just ask questions about this? Why show these? He says, because I like to do the impeachment that way. Judge says, absent any further showing, they're excluded. Steele says, admit them for the record. He said, no. Okay, we're getting some balance here. Steele says, we want them in if there is an appeal. So he already admitting they finna lose this trial. Prosecution says, we'll put them in the case file, we'll put them in the case file. That's how we handle it. Steele said, I asked Mia, you still have friends? And she said, I did not see them. I did not have an external sounding board. She said there was no time. The judge said the problem is putting in the post. They are not relevant and they are cumulative. You already spent a lot of time to the scrapbook. Please bring Mia back in. All rise. Steele says, ask, you and Miss Ventura were best friends. Fair? Mia says, yes. You said she was your sister. She says, yes. You loved her? She said, absolutely. And you feel about the same way today? She said, yes. You would never lie to her? Puff didn't allow me to tell her things, like where he was, anything he said. Was Miss Ventura in love with Mr. Combs? I thought so. Did you ever tell her the person she loved R-worded you? No. Do you remember telling her Mr. Combs's brain need to be rewired? The prosecution asked for a sidebar. The judge says you may. Wow. I don't know. I didn't even realize this music was playing. Wow, Wayne said guilty, guilty, guilty. That's where we're at. All right, I just need to take a quick breather, child. That's a lot. I'm gonna do something different on this screen. Hope everybody's Monday is doing well. I'm gonna put the judge up here. We got the judge up here today. Let's get back to the court. They're back from the break, or from the sidebar, my bad. And still ask, why would you cover up for Mr. Combs to Miss Ventura? Why writing that Mr. Combs is just misunderstood? Prosecution objects. The judge says to rephrase. Still asks, did you tell Miss Ventura she needs to stay with Mr. Combs? She said, I don't remember that. She said he could find out what I was telling her. He said, how? She said he had stolen my phone and Cassie's phone many times. He put tracking devices on her car. But you were alone with Miss Ventura. She said, yes. You sued Mr. Combs for $10 million? She said it was a mediation. My lawyers ended up getting $200,000. Still asked, you got $200,000? She said, yes. Still says, please look at the screen. Is that your social media account? She said, this looked like a text message. Sounds like me. He said, it's your text to Mr. Combs. She said, I don't remember sending this. He says, you're in a tutu and Mr. Combs appears to be holding his private parts. In Ms. Ventura's lawsuit, she alleged S.A. Mia says, yes. Why did you still communicate with Mr. Combs? There's an objection. The judge sustains. Still asked, did you meet these prosecutors in January 2024? She says, I may have. I don't remember the timing. Did you tell them Mr. Combs S.A.'d you? I don't remember when I told them. Did you get a lawyer? Yes. One moment. The lawyer, who had 45 days earlier obtained an enormous judgment, the prosecution objects with an exclamation point, child. The judge sustains. Still asks, why did you hire her? Prosecution objects, exclamation point. The judge sustains, exclamation point. Let's move on. Order in this fucking. Still asks, you only first alleged S.A. in June 2024. She said, I don't remember the timing of things. The rest I can't go into. I understand it's privilege. The prosecution objects. The judge says that's sustained. Let's have a sidebar. In other words, you about to get a verbal ass whooping up in this bitch. Oh my goodness, child. A lot going on. What's going on, Trav? Definitely a lot of sidebars. The judge sounds like he's up to his neck in frustration. At today, it's both sides, not just the defense. So they're back from the sidebar. Still says, let's talk about Prince's party. You said you had no permission to go there, but you knew many people who knew Mr. Combs would be there. The judge says to rephrase. Did you wear a disguise? No. Any photos of a chase? No. You say you and Miss Ventura got on a paddleboard on a storm? Yes. Any recording of that? No. Any note or text message to prove it happened? I don't think so. We were on a paddleboard. Did you make it up? No. You said you had no time with family. Did you ever go to events with your family and friends? Sporadically over 8 years, but few and far between. Weddings? My sister and best friends, I believe. Halloween? I don't remember. You had time with others, right? I had to be in communication 24/7. I was never outside his grip. Outside of work environment, why wouldn't you explain the abuse you say you were experiencing? It's more complicated than that. Isn't it true that other than the few times Mr. Combs was violent with Ms. Ventura, which is never okay, you were comfortable with Mr. Combs? You'd have to rephrase, the judge says. You never advised Ms. Ventura to leave him? No. Until 2024, you never told anyone you were SA. Unless it was to my privileged therapist, that's true. Could you waive that privilege? Objection, judge says move on. You joined the Me Too money grab against Mr. Combs? Objection. Oh, wow. You knew Ms. Ventura received money from her lawsuit against Mr. Combs. Mia said it was public. But you speak with Ms. Ventura. She said never about anything I discussed with the government. The still said, and how will we know that? The prosecution objects. I hate to laugh. Judge sustains. Still says, let me show you documents. Read it to yourself in your honor. Could we have a sidebar? This is Still. The judge says yes. And the sidebar ensues. Oh my goodness. I want to get into the tone of this here going on. I want to go to this TikTok real quick, just a little break since they're at a sidebar about this Mia and the jury.
The jurors are allegedly laughing at Mia while she is being cross-examined by Brian Steele. Now, there are people inside of this courtroom, y'all, outside of CNN, outside of the people that are tweeting it for us. We have people actually in the courtroom and in the overflow room who can see what's going on. And they are all reporting back the same thing, that the jurors have been laughing. They have been looking at each other and nodding their head in agreement with each other. One juror mouthed to the other juror and said, I told you. One person has been sitting in the back this entire time, kind of like not anybody that has came on the stand. Y'all, it has been a lot going on. They said that Mia was giving her testimony and Brian Steele asked her a question. And when she couldn't answer the question, one of the male jurors like put his pen down really hard, crossed his arms. It was like looking at her with his head tilted like, yeah, I don't believe you. Y'all, this is not good. And I don't know if the judge is not just saying something or if he is not seeing it, but something needs to be said, because if a victim is on the stand telling what they are alleging happened to them, they should be respected and protected. Soon as I find out more, I will let you know. I'm not sure why or if the bigger channels are able to report this, but once I get the information, I'll make sure I give it to y'all.
So she claims the jury's sitting there laughing at Mia. And it's not okay. She's absolutely right with that as well. I just hope that, I mean, the thing is that the jury cannot believe one victim and still convict. That happened to R. Kelly. There was one of the victims, I don't know if the name, I don't want to throw any names out there, but she wasn't believed by that jury, but he was convicted and sentenced 30 years for that one. So, anywho, back to court. Let's switch up. I'm gonna put the judge back up. We back in court. The judge says, jurors, you can leave. The jurors leave. He says to Mia, when we come back, you'll be shown documents. Have a good break. Oh, wow. Mia leaves. Ignifilo says, we'll talk with the government over the break about the witness's lawyer. The judge says, okay. And then the judge calls the break. They're back from break. The judge says, Mr. Steele, you may proceed. Steele says, Mia, were you able to review over the break some of your interviews with the prosecutors? She said, yes. And you didn't mention SA until June of 2024? She says, I don't remember the dates. Did you give all of your materials to the government? She said, I gave them to my lawyer. They gave them to the government. Look at this one. In these notes, did you raise SA to the prosecutors? Prosecution objects. Improper refreshment. The judge overrules. Did you raise it in January 2024? Definitely not in the first meeting. I don't remember each specific meeting, but I definitely didn't raise it. The first meeting still says, and in this next document that you just reviewed, the judge says, cuts him off. You just ask her if her recollection is refreshed. He's like, I got to teach law school up in here too. Mia says, no, not to the specifics. You never mentioned SA until you hired lawyer Sean Crowley. I have no idea when I first mentioned it, except that it was after I had representation. Did you intend to sue Mr. Combs for compensation? You want money? She says, no. Who have you worked for since? She said, Madonna. Hello. Shoot. Still said, for how long? She said 8 months from April 2019. When you did that, did Mr. Combs assist you in getting that job? She says, absolutely not. So you were not blacklisted, she says. She says, no. He says, no retribution. She says, he took away the TV show, the credit I was promised. You told the jury you were surprised you were let go, right? She said, I did. You were let go for drinking? No. You remember Miss Ventura's video called Official Girl? Yes. The King of Hearts and her song with Nicki Minaj, The Boys? Yes. And Nicki Minaj is well known? Yes. And Miss Ventura did the song Numb with Rick Ross? She did. And I Love It with Fabulous? Yes. And do you remember Miss Ventura being in studio with Kid Cudi? I don't remember the specifics. And Mr. Combs himself? Yes. The TV show you mentioned, what was it to be about? My experience. How a person from a small town dealt with a person such as Mr. Combs? A comedic version. What other films do you work on? Dope, Lawless, Undefeated. You enjoyed the projects? Yes. And you called the people a second family. We all called it that. You thought Mr. Combs was a genius at the time. You wanted to continue to work with Mr. Combs, right? I wanted to continue following my dream. Do you think if Mr. Combs' company put more money into promoting Miss Ventura other than any of its artists? So it must be, do you think? Do you think Mr. Combs' company put more money into promoting Miss Ventura than other of its artists? Mia said, I didn't absorb everything. Who was Jason Wiley? He worked for the record label. In budgeting, right? Do you recall being given the opportunity to have your therapist notes be seen by the parties? The prosecution objects and the judge calls for a sidebar. All right, Inner City Press shows this picture that somebody sent them. The artist sent him this picture, he says. This is what it's looking like in this tense room. You see Diddy to the far left looking over at Steele, watching the action, looking at the jury as well. You know, hopefully that jury better not be compromised because it's sounding like something fishy is going on. But it could just be the blog reporting. You know, now we have blog reporting versus mainstream media, just strictly the news, and where now we have personality and flair as we do over here. Okay, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying there's a difference, and that we don't really know, you know, what's what. But Diddy is definitely tuned in. They say Diddy running the show over there. Those lawyers, they got their degrees and all of that, but Diddy, he runs the show and calls the shots. Let me see if I can save this picture actually. Oh, okay, we'll do that. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Okay, 1 second. You guys have a busy week ahead, or are you chilling? What's going on? I know summer's coming. Birthdays are coming. Yeah. Shout out to all my Geminis and my Cancers. We're going to get right back into court. I just want to switch up the picture real quick. Let me take down Wayne's opinion. Trav said it was one that said she was taken with the K word in that R. Kelly trial. That who was? I'm lost. Okay, let's get back into court. They're back. Still asked, you never called law enforcement, right? She said, I did not. You said when you were stopped while speeding in LA, Mr. Combs got you out of it. You remember? I do. Did you ever think of calling anonymously? She said no. When you say Mr. Combs hurt your arm, did you seek medical help? No, I wouldn't have been allowed. Did you take photos? No. Did you scream? No, I was in shock. Before the 5 days, you say you were awake. Did you ever stay awake that long? Absolutely not. You testified you would give up all the money if there had not been SA. Any discussion that you will make money by testifying? No. No, that's not even a thing. Your Honor, this is still, Your Honor, can I set up those other matters? The judge says, yes, we'll break for that. The jury leaves, the witness leaves. The judge says, we'll reconvene. Okay. So they're back. The still says nothing further. Finally. The judge says, member of the jury, do not consider any of the testimony about this witness's communication with her therapist, Ms. Smizer. Mia says, Smizer says, Mia was posting to social media part of your job. She says, yes. As a part of that, did you post on your on your personal Instagram account? Yes. What did Mr. Combs do if he thought you were not doing your job? I'd be yelled at and humiliated. Did other employees also post for Mr. Combs' birthday? Yes. The birthday video, was it for Club Diddy? Yes. Did Mr. Combs co-own the water you were drinking? And did you say Revolt, the project you worked on at the end? She says yes. You posted about the good, not the bad times? Yes. Why did you want to make the person who abused you happy? When he was happy, I was safe. Were you worried about your physical safety? Yes, I've been abused by Puff before. I knew his wrath. Did you engage a pro bono lawyer? Yes. Smizer says, why did you meet with the government so much? Because remember yesterday, I think they said 27 times they met. She says, so my story could be understood. And the prosecution asked, why were you terrified? She said, a Puff and the repercussions. Did the government tell you what to say? No, only to tell the truth. How do you feel about public speaking? Terrified. Can you explain that, given that you've been in comedy? I have Puff's permission for that. Any comparison to testifying about Mr. Combs SAing you here? Any comparison to testifying about Mr. Combs SAing you here? None. Why are you here today? If not, I couldn't look my goddaughters in the eye and ever advise them what to do in this situation. The judge says, Mr. Still, any recross? Still says, no, sir. The judge says, Mia, you may go unless you want to stay. And she smiles. Oh, I guess he felt bad. He felt bad because he knew Still was being Still. but I guess that's why he gets paid the big bucks. Woo, child, that was a lot. So Mia's off the stand, y'all. Yes, definitely hit the like button. Thank you very much. Hey, baby Yoda. Oh, you said the girl I was talking about, the jury didn't believe. Oh, right. Okay. Not sure. I mean, if you remember that, I can't, I don't have the space. I don't have the broadband to remember the details of the R. Kelly Rico case or trial at that. I'm sorry. So yeah, I believe it. If that was the one they snatched up. Hey. Okay, so let's get back into it. You said you remember? Okay. Let's get back into the courtroom. Let me take a sip of my tea, my actual tea, y'all. Because how long have we been here? It's going on an hour. So yeah, we're probably winding it down. But we got our next witness coming up. So let's get into the testimony. The judge says next witness. The prosecution says the government calls Sylvia Oken. Where do you work? She says the Beverly Hills Hotel for 17 years. I'm the director of sales and marketing. How do reservations work? A system called Opera. Does Opera link a customer's alias to their real name? Yes. And this one, who is it really? Sean Combs. Can a guest change his or her alias? Yes. How is it paid for? It's to T. Fletcher at Bad Boy, paid by Amex of Sean Combs. Oh no, he tied the business up. The government asks, "What's this?" She says the folio or bill for room 259. What's this? A $500 charge for oil damage. The prosecution says no further questions. Cross-exam, the defense asks, the accompanying guest was Cassie Ventura? Yes, nothing more. Wow. The judge says, is that a good place to let the jury go for the day? Yes. Okay, jurors, see you tomorrow. Well, I hope they're going to get back up there. Well, okay. I hope they said after he just dropped Cassie's name, because you should go back there and say, and as well, Diddy and the company guest, and as well, some stranger, always. Okay. All right. So the jurors leave, and the judge asks the prosecution, who's next? They say Eddie Garcia for an hour and a half. Then we link the video expert. Witness Jane will be having an international flight, so we'll get her on before. Oh my. The judge says until tomorrow. Oh wow. So we have a witness Jane and Garcia. So Garcia is the guy who was I believe, the security guy. Wait, let me make sure what they say. Hold on. Let me see. Before I say something crazy and be mad at myself later. Okay, let's see. Eddie Garcia. Yeah, they didn't say. Okay, so Eddie Garcia might be the hotel security guy who took that $100,000 bribe and gave Diddy, or destroyed that footage, that hotel, or he gave it to Diddy, I guess, but that hotel footage of him beating on Cassie. Because remember, the first guy who testified, who's now an LAPD officer, he said he didn't take the bribe. But this guy is testifying to taking the bribe, and he did an immunity deal right before court started, first thing. So then they're going to talk to him about this video, the fact that he took this bribe. Then the video expert is going to come up, because they're probably going to want to authenticate and make sure that the jury knows that this is an authentic video, regardless if they use the one where he sped up or whatever. So that's that. So that's for tomorrow. That's going to be interesting. So I'm wondering if y'all have any thoughts on what happened today. Travis said, I wonder who Jane is. And yeah, Garcia got immunity. Jane, yes, please hit the like. Yeah, I didn't remember there was a Jane, or either I forgot, but I wasn't expecting. So I'm pretty sure people are reporting from the court, and people probably have, either they know because it has been stated, or because Jane, it sounds like a pseudonym. So hopefully if they do know, they're not putting her out there the way they did Mia, because I don't think that's cool. So what else? Oh, I think there was something else I wanted to show y'all on TikTok, child. One second. So everybody seems to think Mia is lying. So what do y'all think? So this is, I hope you guys can hear this. It seems like it's low on my end. But this is what I was talking about earlier about Puff running the show with regard to his lawyers. I did see this clip from Gene Deal that I want to play real quick. And I don't have nobody telling me the picture is blocking the video. And this, hold on one second.
Like he know everything. I don't know what.
Hold on.
Redirect to go at Kid Cudi. Puff told him no, and the jury saw that, bro. The jury saw that. Puff's like, nah, don't ask him no more questions. Now he paying all these lawyers all this money to defend him, and that's what that narcissism come in at. Like he know everything. I don't know what he thought they would have.
So Gene Deal, hopefully y'all heard that, but Gene Deal's basically saying that Puff, when Kid Cudi was on the stand and it was time for the defense to redirect, Puff said, no, don't ask him no more questions. He said, all them lawyers up there with those law degrees and whatnot, and yet Diddy, the one running the show, telling them what to do. So what else? Let's see if we have any extras on here real quick before. Hope everybody is doing okay today, doing more than okay, doing great, feeling good, feeling great. Okay. I think I'm gonna just call it here. We're about at the hour mark. I appreciate you today. And if you missed the videos we did over the weekend, I had a couple of videos where our lives went live with panel guests. Love Queen, or AKA Beautiful Spirit, was on with me last night. And we did a live about Diddy, the trial, and the extras. And we talked about, Nipsey Hussle and Lauren London, and just all kinds of things. Y'all, did y'all know the Combs twins? They're trying to vlog now. And they had Ava, the little missing girl, the missing white girl, Ava Combs, they call her, in the video with them. But it was kind of also weird. It was just a weird. So it's something to look at. And then also Saturday, I went live with my great friend, psychiatrist, a psychologist, and a lawyer. And we talked about Tory Lanez versus Megan. Pretty much debunked all of the so-called claims of Tory Lanez's new evidence and reasons why he's innocent. So check that out as well. And I appreciate y'all so much. What's going on, Karen? Karen Johnson. Hello. You caught me just in time. Hello, Goddess Dawn and Chat. I believe Mia. I believe the years of abuse affected her. Yeah. I mean, the way they paint that picture, they make her look like a little gold digger who jumped on a bandwagon, of course, and that's their job. But I agree with you as far as believing the abuse. I just think that because of her psychological issues, and she actually is the one who kept throwing that at them throughout her testimony. And at the end, he blew up on her and asked, why do you keep bringing up psychology? But it's important because the mind is what drives the body. So if your mind is jacked up and the cause of that is his abuse, then obviously it should be considered, and the jury needs to be a little more mature about the situation, right? I'm just like, wow. But listen, we'll see y'all. We'll be back tomorrow. I'm gonna look for some cool clips. I might come on later tonight, but I'm pretty sure there's some things going on at court. Every day there's something. You guys, you have a good evening. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.